Mafia, the old country. The Mafia franchise has always been about more than just guns and cars. It's about atmosphere, storytelling, and the complex moral choices of living in the criminal underworld. Mafia, the old country, takes the series back to its roots, both geographically and thematically. Instead of an American city, we're going to Italy in the early 20th century, during a time when organized crime was not just an urban myth, but a shadow government that dictated everyday life. Imagine walking the cobblestone streets of Naples, seeing carriages and early motor vehicles roll by, while the looming presence of powerful families controls the fate of entire neighborhoods. The game promises dynamic city life, branching dialogue, and a gripping story about betrayal, loyalty, and ambition. Every mission is designed to feel like a scene from an award-winning gangster film, complete with tense shootouts, high-speed chases, and moments of deep emotional weight. If you've ever been fascinated by movies like The Godfather or Goodfellas, this is the closest you'll get to living inside that world. The old country promises cinematic storytelling, unforgettable characters, and a chance to rise or fall within the ranks of the Mafia. It's not just a game. It's a playable movie that puts you in the shoes of a rising mobster.
The Altars. This game stands out because it doesn't just ask you to survive, it asks who will do the surviving. Developed by 11-bit studios, the minds behind This War of Mine and Frostpunk, The Altars is set on a desolate alien world where one man is stranded, facing impossible odds. To survive, he creates alternate versions of himself, each shaped by different life choices and personalities. One altar may be optimistic, another cynical, another cautious, and another reckless. But here's the twist. While these clones can help you gather resources, repair equipment, and make survival possible, they also have free will. They can argue, fight, even betray you. The player becomes less of a commander and more of a mediator in a survival experiment where psychology matters as much as technology. The result is a unique blend of science fiction, drama, and survival mechanics unlike anything else in 2025. Few games dared to explore identity and morality this deeply. The Altars is not about killing enemies or leveling up. It's about facing yourself. It asks, what kind of person could I have been if I made different choices? For players who want an emotional, thought-provoking experience alongside survival gameplay, this is a must-play.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Few titles in gaming history are as iconic as Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Now, in 2025, the legendary story of Naked Snake is being reimagined in Metal Gear Solid Delta. Built from the ground up with Unreal Engine 5, this remake keeps the spirit of the original intact while delivering breathtaking visuals, refined stealth mechanics, and updated controls that bring it to modern standards. Set during the height of the Cold War, the story follows Snake as he infiltrates the Soviet jungle, facing both human enemies and the harsh wilderness itself. Fans will remember the unforgettable boss fights, the survival mechanics of hunting and camouflage, and the emotional story that shaped the future Big Boss. But newcomers will get to experience it all with modern fidelity, stunning environments, lifelike character models, and cinematic cutscenes that feel more like a film than a video game. Metal Gear Solid Delta isn't just a remake, it's a chance for a new generation to experience one of the greatest stories in gaming history, polished to perfection. If you missed it the first time, this is the definitive way to play. And if you loved the original, the remake promises enough improvements to make it feel like a brand new adventure. This is a piece of gaming history reborn, and no gamer should skip it.
Titan Quest II, the long-awaited sequel to one of the most beloved action RPGs, is finally here. Titan Quest II revives the spirit of the original while pushing the series into modern territory. Once again, you step into a mythological world filled with gods, monsters, and ancient mysteries. But this time, the visuals are breathtaking. Imagine sprawling landscapes inspired by Greek mythology, from sunlit temples to dark underworld caverns, all powered by modern graphics. Gameplay keeps the signature formula: fast-paced combat, endless loot, and deep character progression. But the developers have added dynamic events, new skill trees, and a much more flexible class system. Every weapon feels powerful. Every encounter feels like a true battle against legendary creatures, from towering minotaurs to serpentine hydras. If you ever loved Diablo, Path of Exile, or the original Titan Quest, this game is a dream come true. It's not just another hack and slash, it's a love letter to mythology and action RPG fans. In 2025, Titan Quest II promises to stand among the titans of the genre, offering endless hours of combat, loot hunting, and mythological immersion.
The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, one of the most controversial yet unforgettable games of the last decade, returns in a definitive edition. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered isn't just a visual upgrade. It brings enhanced textures, ray tracing, improved animations, and additional features like a roguelike survival mode. Players will once again step into the shoes of Ellie, experiencing her brutal journey of vengeance and redemption, but now with cutting-edge fidelity. Beyond the visuals, this edition is the perfect chance for newcomers to dive into one of the most emotionally charged narratives in gaming history. The performances, the music, the haunting atmosphere, everything hits harder in remastered form. Naughty Dog has also promised new accessibility options and gameplay tweaks, making it the most polished version of the game yet. Love it or hate it, The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most talked about games ever made. It's an experience that defines what storytelling in games can achieve. Raw, emotional, and unforgettable. And with this remaster, it finally has the presentation it deserves. If you missed it before, this is the perfect time. If you've played it, the remaster gives you the best way to revisit a masterpiece.
Precinct. The Precinct is a love letter to classic cop movies of the 80s and 90s. It's an open-world police simulator where you play as a rookie officer in a gritty American city plagued by crime. Unlike traditional action games, you're not a one-man army. Instead, you're part of the force, responding to calls, patrolling neighborhoods, chasing criminals, and bringing order to chaos. The game blends sandbox freedom with structured missions. You might start by pulling over reckless drivers, only to be drawn into high-speed chases, shootouts, or major criminal investigations. The city itself is alive with a dynamic day-night cycle, crime events, and citizen behavior that makes every playthrough unique. The Precinct offers something fresh in 2025. Not another gangster simulator, but the chance to stand on the other side of the law. If you grow up loving movies like Lethal Weapon or Training Day, this is your chance to live the fantasy of being a cop in a dangerous city. It's both nostalgic and modern, and it fills a gap in gaming we haven't seen in years.
Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. This dark fantasy RPG comes from the creators of the cult board game Tainted Grail. Set in a twisted version of Arthurian legend, Fall of Avalon transports players to a cursed land where knights, sorcerers, and monsters are corrupted by an ancient plague. The world is grim, unsettling, and filled with mystery. More like a horror story than traditional medieval fantasy. The game combines immersive, first-person exploration with open-world RPG mechanics. You'll be able to craft weapons, fight grotesque monsters, and uncover the secrets of Avalon's downfall. Every quest is morally complex, and the choices you make have real consequences. This is not a heroic fantasy where you save the world. This is survival in a land where hope itself is fading. Fans of The Witcher and Dark Souls will feel at home here, but with a darker, more tragic edge. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon is one of those games that doesn't just entertain, it unsettles you, sticks in your mind, and makes you think long after you turn it off. In 2025, it could easily become the sleeper hit of the RPG genre.
Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2. The first Kingdom Come shocked the gaming world with its dedication to realism, medieval authenticity, and deep roleplay. Now, Deliverance 2 takes everything to the next level. Once again, you step into the boots of Henry, a simple blacksmith's son caught in the brutal conflicts of 15th century Bohemia. But this isn't a fantasy world of dragons and magic, it's raw history, where survival depends on your swordsmanship, diplomacy, and wits. The sequel promises a much larger larger open world with castles, villages, and dense forests recreated with stunning accuracy. Combat is more refined, capturing the weight and technique of real medieval sword fighting, and the story picks up right where the original left off, plunging players into political intrigue, betrayal, and bloody battles for survival. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 isn't just another RPG, it's a time machine. It offers a kind of immersion you simply don't get anywhere else. No magic spells, no fantasy shortcuts, just you and history itself. If you've ever dreamed of living in the Middle Ages, this is the most authentic way to do it.
Eriksholm, The Stolen Dream. Eriksholm is a hidden gem of 2025, blending cinematic storytelling with stealth gameplay. Set in a fictional Nordic city during a time of social upheaval, you play as 3 characters whose destinies intertwine in a fight for freedom. The game mixes exploration, puzzles, and stealth action with a strong focus on narrative, giving it the feel of a playable movie. The atmosphere is haunting, with fog-filled streets, flickering lanterns, and a society on the edge of revolution. Every mission challenges you to think, sneak, and outsmart your enemies, rather than simply overpower them. The developers have emphasized emotional storytelling, so the decisions you make will carry heavy weight, changing the outcome of the characters' fates. If you loved games like Dishonored or Thief, but craved even deeper storytelling, Eriksholm is for you. It's not just about sneaking in the shadows, it's about fighting for something bigger, a dream of freedom in a world designed to crush it.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft's flagship franchise finally brings us to feudal Japan, and fans couldn't be more excited. Assassin's Creed Shadows lets you play as both a shinobi assassin and a legendary samurai, offering 2 very different perspectives on one of history's most fascinating eras. The game combines stealth, parkour, and open-world exploration with the cinematic flair Assassin's Creed is known for. Expect breathtaking Japanese landscapes, bamboo forests, snowy mountains, bustling castles, all rendered in incredible detail. The dual protagonist system allows players to approach missions with stealth or raw combat, giving unprecedented freedom in gameplay. Historical figures and events are woven into the story, making it both entertaining and educational. Fans have been asking for a Japanese Assassin's Creed for over a decade. Now it's finally here, and it promises to be one of the biggest open-world experiences of 2025. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer, this is the entry everyone will be talking about.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This ambitious RPG blends breathtaking visuals with a surreal, painterly art style. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 tells the story of a doomed world cursed by a ritual that kills 1 year's worth of people every cycle. You lead a band of heroes on a desperate journey to break the curse and save what's left of humanity. The game combines turn-based combat with real-time elements, creating a battle system that feels both strategic and thrilling. The environments look like living works of art, dreamlike landscapes filled with surreal creatures and mysterious ruins. Every encounter feels like stepping into a moving painting, and the story carries a heavy emotional weight. Simply put, there's nothing else like it. Expedition 33 isn't just another RPG. It's an artistic experience, the kind of game that makes you stop and stare at the screen. For players looking for something bold, original, and unforgettable, this could be the surprise masterpiece of 2025.
Hollow Knight Silksong, one of the most anticipated indie games of all time. Hollow Knight Silksong finally arrives in 2025, taking everything fans loved about the original. Tight gameplay, atmospheric world building, and haunting music. Silksong puts you in control of Hornet, the nimble protector from the first game. The game promises over 150 new enemies, vast, interconnected environments, and a deeper combat system that focuses on speed and agility. The hand-drawn art and music give it a unique, almost hypnotic atmosphere. Exploration is at the core, rewarding curiosity with secrets, shortcuts, and hidden bosses that challenge even the best players. The first Hollow Knight is considered one of the greatest indie games ever made, and Silksong aims to surpass it. It's the definition of a passion project, made by a small team, but with the ambition of a blockbuster. If you want a game that combines challenge, beauty, and pure artistry, this is unmissable.